Hello, my name is Catherine, Marketing Manager for NopSec, and I'm incredibly excited to share with you our product and give you more info on what it can offer to IT security and risk professionals all over the world. A great cybersecurity solution helps you get started with the right foundation. As they say, well begun is half done, and Unified VRM gives you exactly just that, a vulnerability risk management platform made to help professionals get from threat detection to remediation at the fastest time possible. And never was that more important than when it comes to our homeland security. After logging in, you'll find yourself in this landing page of Unified VRM. As you can see, it's clear interface, it's focused on ease of use and utility. No fluff, all function, and it looks great. So it's designed for two types of users, right? So one is the CISO, the Chief Information Security Officer, and other members of the management team who are really more focused on the overall risk, exposure, and remediation progress in the organization. The other persona is the security engineer or the analyst, the ones with boots on the ground, working day in and day out within the workflow and focused on the improvement, efficiency, and effectiveness of their processes. So I will go through the security engineer workflow first. Then I will wrap up the demo with the CISO view. So on this global dashboard, what you're seeing is the overall risk score as a risk posture across the environment. So how do you interpret it? So once you get in, right, within the environment you have an overall risk score of C. It's a relatively moderate risk score, as we say there, C moderate, right? And at NopSec, we opted to use a grading system from A to F, which makes it easy to understand in a high level where we are in terms of security posture, right? So I think it's the most universal way of grading your system, and we have a general understanding of what it stands for, and not in a granular way. There are ways to do that in the platform, but for now, it just gives you a quick look of where we are. So we have a C, it's moderate. It tells you that you have about 1,600 public exploits and more than 700 patches available. If you apply these patches, we can significantly reduce our risk posture. And this goes back to what I mentioned in our application. It's not just about which tickets can I close now, but which tickets or which exploits and patches can I apply now to make the biggest impact, as we see here. So I'd like to briefly show you the power behind the platform. So here on the E3 Engine tab, the E3 Engine technology shows you exactly how we enrich and clarify data, giving you full transparency. This is one of the key differentiators within our platform. Not only does it cleanse your data, it's also an attack path simulator, right? So our motto in the company is think like a hacker. So we want to preempt that. That's one of the things that we help our customers with. So not only does it cleanse your data, like I said, it actually performs exploits and privilege escalation to validate your controls. After processing, as you can see here, from 70,000 vulnerabilities you originally gave us, for example, classified using base CVS score, which we all know is no longer scalable, right? We're able to narrow it down to about 20,000 of enriched and prioritized vulnerabilities, now classified and prioritized using threat intelligence feeds and other sources of threat intelligence data. So this is how we manage the information overflow problem, and we also help you automate many of the processes that used to take weeks. This used to take weeks. You have people manually listing all 75,000 of these vulnerabilities, sorting through them, correlating them, prioritizing them. But with NopSec Unified VRM, it's all in the platform. Depending on the size, it takes you from a few hours to about a day. And if you're asking, oh, from 75,000 to 20,000, how did you get there? We give you all the details that you need. It's like a layered cake. How many we evaluated, how many attack paths we were able to exploit, what are the false positives, the uses information. We just saved you 42,000 vulnerabilities, 42,000 vulnerabilities that would have wasted time on. We've cleared it out for you, and also the duplicates. Okay, so going back, if you look on the left side of the page, you will see workspace. We model this after the workflow, the daily workflow of an engineer or for an analyst. What would you do, right? So we give you options. You either import this, so you can either use, we have the external, internal web configuration and wireless attack vectors. And this is the very next step is, how do we get it? How do we bring your vulnerabilities into the platform? Whether it's development application related vulnerability or the network, right? Let's say you already have a scanner, you put it here. You either upload it in XML format, right, for web applications. You can either do it on, for example, if I would say, so if we could go back, if it's in a pen test, it could be a docx or a PDF. You also have the option, for example, to connect via API. Our product has open API in and out, authenticated RESTful API, so we work with the tools that you already have. No need to reinvent the wheel. No need to find other solutions just so you can work with us. We will work with you. So that is one of the big values that we deliver to our customers. Right. Now, for example, for our smaller customers, clients, and they're just starting out or they don't have the budget for this, we offer the free built-in scanner. It's an open source scanner, and we help them schedule their scans, and they also have a record of their completed scans so they can refer back to it whenever they want. You can also configure them, and like I said, you can schedule them. Now let's say we have scanned, we have all your data. What do we do? So this is the Fix tab now. This is where the magic happens in terms of workflow orchestration. We absorb your assets, we ingest the vulnerability data, we apply our algorithm, and take in consideration the 5 categories of contextual intel feeds, including your assets, external feeds, malware, exploits, social context, which only NopSec does, and patching vulnerability information. So it is one of those things where you can see in granular information what your vulnerabilities are like. You get a summary of the vulnerabilities, you get a ticket history, and all the information you would need to be able to remediate that vulnerability. Now, if you look at this, there's the task tab within it. This would remind you of a Kanban system, right? So this is one important function we have embedded into the system called the task management. We can create a task and bring in all the relevant activities or tickets into one logical container where we assign to individuals. That adds to the accountability of the members of the team, and there's no vagueness to it. As a security engineer, I have a clear direction in what I need to do as a step into my workflow, and the manager has a global view of the remediation status. As a use case, to remediate certain vulnerabilities related to particular applications, we can create all relevant tickets into one task and assign it to that to a particular individual. In terms of integration and automation, just to expand on that, we can select multiple tickets and send to different ticketing platforms such as ServiceNow or Jira. There is bidirectional closed loop remediation, so we don't have to go to multiple systems just to update. And the great thing about this, and one of my favorites, is that you can move things around. Oh, is this in progress? Is this pending? The one thing you cannot move it to is verified. This adds a layer of accountability as well. The only way that you can move a ticket to the verified column is when you have a third-party verification, i.e., for example, you load another scan that shows that this ticket, this vulnerability has been patched. This is a great feature that our managers, client managers love because it adds accountability. It helps them understand that things are getting done, and it's not so much more about trust but more about, hey, trust but verify, as they say. And of course, reporting is big. It's a very straightforward reporting. It's persona based, standard, delivers full or executive. Auditors love full reporting, and executive is more for the managers. We continue to enhance the functionality for reporting, and we have new ones coming out in the future, including risk acceptance and such. We also have remediation and differential. We let you do reports scan based or time based within a certain point of time, so that gives you more flexibility. We also let you keep your reports and download them in different formats: PDF, HTML, CSV, whichever works for you, and it's here for your reference. Perfect. Now, another favorite of mine is the analytics tab. So if you go here at the top, it's a very powerful engine behind the scenes as well, in tandem with E3 engine, right? So if I want to know how many vulnerabilities do I have across my entire platform, I would say, okay, there you go. I just clicked search, and it's about 16,000 vulnerabilities in my platform, right? And we can also do a couple of things. We can do a shortcut here on the left. Top impact. What is my top impact? Show me my most critical vulnerabilities that would give me the top risk reduction percentage when I remediate them. Perfect. Here we go, right? And I can drill down into a more granular level too. So for example, okay, out of these 10,000, as you can see here, right? What about if I just look for my team in North Virginia? I can do that. Now I have 16. What if I want to do it by patch availability out of the 16? Oh, there's no patch available for this 16. What else can I look up? Maybe I can look up by ports, right? I can look up by tags, by CVEs. So maybe let's say CV 2015-17-88. Here we go. I can just go down there. It's about OpenSSL. Drill down very quickly. My manager comes in, asks me, Catherine, what about our certain port, a certain vulnerability? I saw when the news this happened. Can you find it for me? As an engineer, I won't have to go through hours going through my data. I can just go into analytics and drill down. Perfect. Okay. So, wrapping up on the engineer persona, because we've gone through the workflow, we looked at the analytics. There's one more shortcut that our customers have found really useful and delivers great value. So if I could return here in SecOps, right here, and this is our to-do feature. So let's say I can only do 3 or 5 things today, but I still want to deliver a significant impact. What do I need to do? Where should I focus on? This is a quick view of which actions are most critical from the vulnerability standpoint. These are the ones that I need with the correlated exploit or malware, or from the risk reduction standpoint, what is the most impactful action I can take? So this is one of the favorites of our clients. And then, so moving on to the CEO, CISO persona, the CEO as well. Sometimes they do look, don't they? All right. So the CISO's main priority is to know where we stand in terms of progress. So we can look here. So if you look at the tricky trends, are we doing better? Are we worse across our entire infrastructure? From our external and internal networks, including cloud to our application system configuration, how are we doing? So if you look here, your internal is C, your external is C, but look, your web applications are A, very secure. So I would think, okay, if my web applications are secure, I can then, put more of my resource and time in the internal and external then, right? It even gives me particular asset groups that I can look into that needs more of my time, right? So we can even compare ourselves to our peers, looking at our vulnerabilities, trends. You have the technology to be able to distinguish and compare and contrast between comparable industries with comparable sizes. Everyone wants to compare against a benchmark to see how they're doing over time, right? So this is it. My risk is really the core of everything we do, particularly for the CISO, right? So here we give our customers risk grades across their environment. So for this particular case, like I said, you get this scores, and you can also see your risk trend over time compared to the industry, right? Remediation status, how are we doing, right? We also have features for improvement and policy, the environment, risk predictions, and web. Perfect, right? And also we can look at here too on the progress. Right here, like I've mentioned earlier, we can see our ticket trends. How are we aging? Are we aging well? Right? Vulnerability trends, the progress, and everything else. So you do get a holistic view, right, of the platform here, and you see the workflow. You see how this platform can change an entire application security, not application, but like just IT security teams, and how they're able to revolutionize and answer all the basic challenges that has become a roadblock for a lot of IT security teams, right? Information overload, manual processes, and we all know that manual processes, manual delays create more risk. The more you delay, the more at risk you are. And I think one of the bigger problems too is that we have a workforce shortage. And while we're waiting for the market to catch up, this is one of the things that we can use, right? And this is it, a quick overview of our platform. NopSec's unified VRM is truly one of those solutions that offer value and real ROI to our clients, right? We can put a price, we can quantify how much a data breach could cost, really, right? But you cannot put a price on peace of mind and really the safe data. Thank you so much for listening to my presentation. Please let me know if you have any questions or classifications, including if you would like access to the demo product and you'd like to try it. My email is kgarcia@nopsec.com, kgarcia@nopsec.com. Thank you very much and have